What's up guys, FM Campbell here. Welcome to episode number 38, I think it's 38 anyway, of the Aston Villa series. One thing to quickly note, a couple of people have been commenting on previous videos asking about the attribute colours. So when I click on a player, for example, if I go to Václav Pilar, some people have been moaning that they haven't been able to see some of the lower ratings in the attributes. That's because I think from attribute number 6 and down, it was to like a dark grey, and because of the background, people couldn't see it. So I do apologise that it's taken me so long to actually finally change that. So it's actually now a lighter grey, as you can see, and there's not really much of a difference between the two greys, but there are. So I hope that's easier for you guys to see, and I do apologise. I kept on recording videos, uploading them, and going, oh damn it, I didn't bloody change the attribute colour. So yeah, apologies that it took so long in me changing that, but hopefully that is more clearer for you guys now anyway. We are, just a quick recap, we are Aston Villa, if you can't already see, if you don't already know. I don't know how you haven't seen, because everything is bloody claret and blue. We're Aston Villa. We're in the 2017-18 season. The goal of the series is to win the Champions League. We are in the Champions League this season for the very first time. We've been in the Europa League twice already. In the first time we were knocked out by Atletico Madrid, I believe. Last year we won it in probably one of the most dramatic episodes in fact I've probably ever done on this channel, where we did a live episode where we covered the Europa League final against Barcelona of all people. So yeah, it was also a triple final upload, all in one episode. It was the last day of the season in the league. It was the FA Cup final and the Europa League final, all in one episode. So I will put a link in the description if you do want to go see that one. I'm very proud of that episode. It was dramatical. It was drama at its peak. So yeah, I'd highly suggest going checking that out. It's probably my favourite video I've ever uploaded. Anyway, we'll get into the episode and we'll find out what's been going on. I say find out, I'll tell you what's been going on, because I already know what's been going on. But yeah, we've got quite a lot to cover in this episode. There's been a lot going on actually. We've had some shorter episodes previously. So yeah, I'll just get straight into it. And we'll start with the schedule. We last left you, it would have been after the Dortmund game, where we beat them 2-1 in the home leg. Lukaku and Lacazette were the two goals, and then obviously Dortmund, one goal from Sven Bender. A 2-1 victory in Group A of the Champions League. We haven't lost all season other than the Community Shield, and as you can see, unfortunately in this episode we did lose, and there's a couple of things I'm quite annoyed about, a couple of things I'm very happy about. Starting off with something that I'm extremely happy about, we managed to beat Chelsea away at Stamford Bridge 2-0. It's now the Zola Arena. Have they had a new stadium built? Oh Jesus. Chelsea have had a new stadium built called the Zola, as in Gianfranco Zola, the Zola Arena. I didn't even know. Why am I not being told about this sort of stuff? I need to subscribe to this. Anyway, yeah, so Chelsea, we played them at the Zola Arena, a capacity stadium by the looks of things, a decent capacity stadium, and we beat them 2-0, Balanta and Lacazette with the goals. So yeah, I was absolutely over the moon with that result. And then we carried on winning tradition away from home, where we played Liverpool. Is this no? It's still at Anfield. Beat them 2-1. Januzaj with a goal, and then in dramatic fashion, Mandzukic got an 88th minute equaliser. But then look, in the 93rd minute, Memphis Depay got the winner, giving us another 3 points on the board. Then we drew a game after a massive stretch of wins all in a row. We drew a game against Roma in Group A of the Champions League, although it did not matter too much. We did play not the kids, but we did play a rotation of reserve players in this game essentially. We drew 1-1, so we stayed unbeaten, at least for a couple more games. Lucas Romero coming off the bench to get a late equaliser after a Kevin Strootman goal, finishing 1-1 and leaving Group A like... If we go to Group A first, like this. We qualified quite comfortably. We were already qualified essentially in this one by 4 points. So yeah, we were destined to finish top before this game, which you probably might have known since the previous episode if you have seen it. And yeah, we finished top by 4 points. As you can see, we did not lose a game the whole time. We drew twice, once against Dortmund and once against Roma, I believe. Well, you know about the Roma one. But yeah. Played 6, won 4, drawn 2, lost none. Goal difference of +6, 14 points on the board. It does mean that we went through to the first knockout round. And as you can see, we have drawn Sevilla away in the first leg. in the Champions League in the first knockout round. I am really got high hopes for us this season in the Champions League. I know obviously the target is to win the Champions League, so if we can do it this season, it will bring the series to an end. But don't forget, we've got the Building a Force series with York City. That will obviously become the main series on the channel. But yeah, so Man United against Schalke or Gelsenkirchen, Lazio against Barcelona, Sevilla against ourselves, Metalist Kharkiv against Real Madrid, Valencia against Chelsea, Roma against PSG, Feyenoord, Arsenal, Lyon essentially against Bayern. So yeah, there are some very big teams left in this competition. You would say that United, Barcelona, hopefully ourselves, Real Madrid, Chelsea, PSG, Arsenal and Bayern would be the favourites to go through, and you would argue that they're probably the best teams all around Europe that should be going through. So, I mean, it's going to be tough, but I like our chances. We then went back to winning fashion in the Premier League. We beat Sunderland with a smashing 4-0 victory. Thiago, Romelu Lukaku with a penalty and then obviously another goal as well, and a Pantilimon own goal. It was one of them ones where it hits the bar, comes off the keeper and goes in. We're obviously, if you don't already know, we're playing at the Ricoh Arena. We're having a stadium expansion at the moment going through, so that's why we're playing at the Ricoh Arena. I think we're due, if we go to the club and the facilities, I think we're due to move back at some point. So regular stadium, yeah, we're due to move back to the 55,000 capacity Villa Park after planned expansion. When is that? That is the 14th of the 5th, so it's like January, February, March, April, May. So the 14th of May, we'll be going back to Villa Park with a 55,000 stadium capacity. So that will help the income dramatically. We are currently playing at the Ricoh Arena, which is the Coventry Stadium. It is a 32,609 all-seater stadium, so we will be increasing the capacity, and obviously that which has massive effects on the income. It will go up 23,000, just under 23,000. Villa Park, I can't remember what it was before. The expansion is 12,215. So, I mean, it's 43,000 ish. Just under 43,000 up to 55,000. So that's not too bad. I mean, Villa Park has been built for a while, I believe, Villa Park. So hopefully, maybe in the long term, I would view, if we don't win the Champions League by then, to actually build a new stadium. But we'll see what happens. But moving forward, we then played Leeds in the Capital One Cup, and I really wanted to win this tournament. Have we won this yet? I can't even remember. I don't think we have. Results. Do we? Yeah, the biggest wins I want. I can't remember if we've won this or not. Let's have the accolades. Just to double check. Landmarks. Competitions. No, we haven't. We haven't won the Capital One Cup, so that's frustrating. I would like to have won that. So yeah, but we'll move on quite swiftly. But we did lose to Leeds on penalties, and I do not know how. Lucas Romero being sent off in the 87th minute did not help, to be honest with you. And yeah, so we lost to Leeds on penalties. 0-0, didn't manage to score. I believe that we pretty much got FM'd. Let's quickly look at the actual stats. So how many shots did we have? So we had 35 shots, they had 5. We had 60% possession, 15 shots on target, and we could not put the ball in the back of the bloody net. So it does mean that we were knocked out in the Capital One Cup, which is quite frustrating. But we'll move on nice and swiftly to the whole result where we beat them 3-0, return to winning ways, and return to actually being able to score some goals. We beat them 3-0 at the Circle Stadium, which is Hull City Stadium. Sterling, Lukaku and Lacazette with the goals. Then QPR we beat 3-1 at home at the Ricoh Arena. 3-1. Thiago with a penalty. Raheem Sterling and Stephen Colker. Jordan Rose with a penalty as well for QPR. So yeah, Sterling's on form by sounds of it. Well, as I already know. And then we finally had our first loss in a competitive fashion, I guess, like on the pitch in 90 minutes. We lost 2-1 to Stoke. And yeah, very, very frustrating. It was supposed to have been plus 3 minutes. And as you can see, Julian Brandt gave us the lead in 6 minutes. Then Djordjevic got a 29th minute equaliser. So we had 3 minutes added time, and then Mame Biram Diouf got a 96th minute winner at the Britannia Stadium. So 3 minutes over what it should have been, and yeah, they managed to get a winner. So I was pissed off, to say the least. I was absolutely fuming. Oh, you know when you get the highlight at the end of the game, you think, oh, this will be it. This will be the end of the game highlight where the full-time whistle was blown. No, Diouf gets a goal, and then the full-time whistle was blown as we take kick-off. That's how annoying it was. So it's probably the last. Well, it was the last action of the game, essentially, pretty much the last kick of the game. Not happy. So this is where it leaves us in the Premier League. We are still sat top of the league. We are on 49 points. Chelsea 4 points behind on 45. We do though have a game in hand on them. Although these sort of things where you get a couple of losses, they come thick and fast, and we've got some big games coming up. To note, Man City and Arsenal in the league. We've also got Tottenham in the near future, which we'll obviously be covering in the next episode. So yeah, 3 big games in the Premier League, and then we've got Wigan in the FA Cup third round, if you don't already know that, which I would expect us to win, I'm not going to lie. But we'll go through a couple of updates as to what's been going on just behind the scenes. Lacazette has been moaning, he wants to join Chelsea. We've been kind of telling them to shush. Balanta, Eder Alvarez Balanta, if we go to him, he has just signed a new deal to warn off some of the teams that were in for him. As you can see, there's no teams that he's wanted by anymore. Look at that marking at 20, what a beast. And yeah, he's starting to hit form as well now. Average rating of 7.53. He's got 3 goals in 18 appearances. And yeah, he's looking to be finally that player that I thought I was signing all the way at the beginning when we took over. Thiago is now happy to stay at the club, although I'll probably look to sell him in this January transfer window if we can get a decent amount of money for him. Financially, it's actually quite tight because we've got facilities being upgraded, we've got the stadium being expanded, and things like that. Essentially, we don't have that much money. I mean, you'll see here we are actually in the red technically, although we do have a lot of players to sell. So I'm not too worried about it, if I'm completely honest. And we are paying a lot of players big wages as well. But this is why. Look at the amount of players that we have in the under-21s. There are a lot of them. So we've got a lot of players to turn over, especially at the end of the season. Same with the under-18s. We also have a big amount of players in the under-18s. So we're definitely going to have to think about what we want to do with some of these players in the near future. So finances will improve. Don't worry about that. We'll also be moving back to our new stadium, well, back to the expanded stadium, so the income, the gate receipts will change on that as well. But it's the combination of everything. If we go to the board now, you'll see that we've had youth facilities upgraded, training facilities upgraded, we've had the expansion in the stadium. We've been doing a hell of a lot of scouting. In the previous episode, I actually mentioned about the scouting restructure, which does cost quite a bit of money. You probably think nothing of it, but it does. But yeah, so we've had a big massive turnaround and lots of things going on. So we've been splashing the cash that we've made and in all sorts of various areas. But we'll move on to let you guys know we have... oh yes, this is another one. Lucas Cano is out for 2 to 3 months. Fortunately, he's not with the club at the moment. He's out on loan, but 2 to 3 months with a big injury, which is quite frustrating. Conveniently, just before the transfer window, because he's one of the guys that I was considering bringing back to sell, depending on what his value was looking like. Corchia has been moaning about joining Real Madrid. We told him to ignore any sort of information coming through from Real Madrid, and he was quite happily obliged. We're home to Wigan in the FA Cup third round, as you know. Ruben Neves, by the way, I know this guy's obviously a well-known player that is a very good player. But yeah, Ruben Neves, look at him. He is 20 years old. Look at his mental attributes already. He is actually my captain because his leadership's 18, determination is 17. He is a crazy good player. And then when you go to his reports, he does not have one con. He does not have a single one. I have never seen that, and I noticed that, and I thought I'd make you guys aware. But look at the pros. He's a good player for most Premier Division sides, and he's still improving. His potential of 4-star, current is only 2. Potential to be a leading Premier Division defensive midfielder in the future. He's spirited, relishes big matches. He's a consistent performer, highly reliable player who doesn't often let opponents get past him. Is a natural in a couple of positions. Improved his crossing and his passing over the last 2 months. Is a current international. Has made some improvements as a footballer over the past 2 months, and he is just an absolute beast. I think he's going to be a real key player for us in the future. We've got lots more things to go through though. We've 10 wins in a row after the Sunderland game, which is here. So we've actually won 2 more. So it's 12 games won in a row in the Premier League. And unfortunately that comes to an end with a Stoke result. The Leeds game was very frustrating. 35 shots to Leeds, I think 5 was it. Lost on penalties in the Capital One Cup. Absolutely shocking. We were massively FM'd, as it's commonly said. Massively FM'd in that game, and we did lose and we were knocked out, as you know. And it was the first loss since the Community Shield. We got a nice Champions League first knockout round draw against Sevilla. Which you already know about. Nottingham Forest extended Jed Steers' loan deal for another 3 months. He's obviously the English goalkeeper that we have that was moaning about first team football, so we let him go out on loan. What else have we got? Oh, Thiago's out for 3 to 4 weeks with a damaged kneecap. Again, another convenient one. As I said, I was looking to potentially sell him in this window. He signed on a free, so any sort of profit that we make on him is always a good profit. But he's on a relatively low wage considering. You probably expect to pay about 100 grand a week for him normally. But yeah, so if we can save some money on his wages, get a nice transfer fee. I'm hoping for about 20 to 25 million. Anything more than that, absolute bonus. So we'll see what happens. But we've got to get through this injury first. There's a good chance that he'll probably only be back for the last week of the transfer window. So he might not pass a medical until then. So like I said, we will see what happens. Here we go. Cardozo, Mosquito, Everton, Montari, Palmer, Morris and Baines have all returned from their loan deals. So we'll hopefully look to get them loaned back out in this window again. Messi won the World Golden Ball for the year, or the Golden Ball. Neymar won the World Player of the Year, or the Ballon d'Or as it's commonly known. Lewis Cook got second in Young Player of the Month for the first time. He's been involved in that. We won Manager of the Month, which means it's now 3 months in a row that we've won Manager of the Month. We've been offered to change our targets. It was 92 million. We would have 92 million in the transfer kitty to stay with the same target. 118 million to challenge for the title, or 130 million to win the league. We've decided to keep it as the same because I'm not taking any risks, not especially the season when we're doing so well in the Champions League. It doesn't actually affect our transfer budget. It just means that if we go to the finances, that it was 92 million essentially. This budget stays the same, but because we don't have any budget at the moment, we do have quite a bit of wages. I think if we adjusted it, it can go up to like 12 to 15 million, I think. Oh no, 8 million. So yeah, we have got a little bit of movement in there. But I am thinking about come March, obviously the regen days for the different countries. That's where I'll probably like to improve this season. Until the end of the window, I doubt we'll do any major business. I might look, as I said, I'd have mentioned in previous episodes, I might look to bring in a defensive midfielder in this window. So get your comments in if there's people that you feel would be a great asset to the team. Essentially, the reason being is we are now playing a 4-2-3-1, so we now need at least 4 defensive midfielders. We have Gaston Gil Romero and Lucas Romero. Christopher Ayer has obviously had to step in because of the Gil Romero injury. Lewis Cook, I'm not 100% sold on him. That is the issue. So it's between Neves, Romero, Gil Romero and Lewis Cook at the moment. I'd like to bring someone in that would improve Lewis Cook. He is only 20 years old. We've got some decisions to make over him in the future as to what we want to do. But yeah, I'm not 100% sold on him. That is the reason being why I want a world-beating defensive midfielder to pair with Lucas Romero in the middle. Gaston Gil Romero and Ruben Neves will obviously be the backups, and then over time they will all obviously start to hit peak and they will rotate within themselves. So that is the reason why I wanted a beast of a defensive midfielder, or a ball-winning midfielder as such. I think I'm stuck between 2 at the moment. I won't tell you who they are, but let me know who you think I should have a look at in the comment section below. Cracking the voice. There we go. There, if you heard that. But yeah, 7 players have joined the club. If we go over to the transfers, these are players that we'd already had agreements in place for. They should all, in theory, be here. Here they are. So we've got Steve. I might have already covered these in previous episodes. I do apologise if I have done already. But Steve Papoulias has joined. 18 years old. He's got lots of potential. Only 2-star here, but I think he could be a great asset. We've got work to do with him. He does need a work permit. He's one of these Americans that we signed on a free way back when, that I think we can make money on in the future. We'll see what happens. Another one is Adrian Lopez. This guy's Argentinian, also needs a work permit, 18 years old. He's got great finishing, good composure. His physical attributes need some work, but his mental attributes aren't too bad. He's 18 years old on £900 a week. He's already worth 1.1 million in value. I don't think we paid... Oh, we did. So 1.6 we paid for him. Common one that you guys might see quite often, Leandro Paredes has signed on a... Was it on a free... I'm sure it was on a free transfer. Yeah, it was on a free transfer. He is signed, 23 years old, Argentinian, previously played for Roma. He was on loan from Roma. He's played for Boca for 3 seasons. He's a very, very good player with great potential. Again, 2-star, obviously in comparison to some of the players that we've already got in the team. Likely to be a moneymaker in the future, but I do think he could be someone that we could make a decent amount of money on anyway. Bob Williams signed from Georgia United, another American. This guy's got great mental attributes, 18 years old. Physical attributes does need some work. Again, though, probably going to be a moneymaker. Got 2.5 potential star. Scouting report. Thomas Martinez, you might have heard of this guy a few times. This guy's not as good as he has been on previous FMs. His mental attributes especially have had a bit of a dip. But his physicals also need some work, but he's got great technical attributes for a 22-year-old. He signed on a free transfer from River Plate. Again, probably going to be a moneymaker. Yanis Jepsen signed from Bromby. This guy looks to be a bit of a beast. 18 years old, 2.1 million already in value. We signed him for 3.7. Regen, great potential as you can see. 4.5 star potential. Plays right back. Signed from right back. We do need to work on his tackling. But he could also, essentially, you could say move into the middle. Heading and marking are both absolutely unreal. So if we can improve that tackling, he could be a bit of a beast. 18 years old, only on 3.5 grand a week. So we'll see how he gets on. Reno Piscopo looks again like another beast. 3-star potential, although I don't always. By the way, when I say that, I don't always listen to this. It's a lot based on the stats and some of the mental stuff that he's got going on. 325k in value. We signed him for 185k, so that's nearly already doubled. Look at that determination and flair. He's 6 foot, finishing a 13, composure a 12. Good physical attributes, although for a 6-footed person, we do need to improve that strength. But yeah, again, looks to be a great one for the future. So not any marquee signings coming in. A lot of money making to be done in quite a few of them positions. Probably going to get most of these guys out on loan sooner rather than later. In regards to outgoings, we'll probably quickly cover these now. Enrique has finally gone to Santos for 3.5 million. He was back up to Jonathan Silva for a while. Never really hit the potential that we actually gave him. He ironically would fail a work permit if he was to sign again. That's a strange one. So yeah, a lot of players obviously going out on loan, as you can see since we last covered. We've got Jack Sanchez, Jack Taylor have gone on loan to these 2 teams. I can't even pronounce them. Franco Ramos has gone to Malmo. Bobby Megas has gone to these guys. So has Chris Sanchez. And yeah, so that's pretty much all the business that's been going on. And I think that pretty much covers everything. So like I said, we've got quite a few big games to cover that will be covered in the next episode, which will be on Wednesday. Apologies, by the way, for the late upload on this one. It is actually my birthday on Wednesday, and I went out this weekend with lots of friends for my birthday. So yeah, it's been a little bit sort of catch up. Well, yesterday was kind of a write off, as you can probably imagine. So today's been a little bit of a catch up. And obviously I'll be recording Wednesday's episode or be tomorrow night. So like I said, any suggestions that you do make on a defensive midfielder, I will take into yeah, I'll have a think of that. I'll have a look at them and have a think about them and see what you guys and see if they are sort of at the decent enough level. Obviously we're 3 or 4 years into the save now, so they might have decreased in stature, increased in stature, who knows. But I'm looking for someone that's ideally between the age of 20 and 25, a bit of a beast, a bit of an all-rounder, someone that can maybe play as a deep line playmaker or a defensive midfielder or a ball-winning midfielder, that sort of role. But yeah, the younger the better, obviously. I'm looking for a world-class player. I want to splash out on a bit of a beast, and the money that we get from Thiago, if we do manage to sell him, will go towards it. If not, we've got some wheeling and dealing to do, essentially. But yeah, anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching. Remember to leave a like if you have enjoyed the episode. Remember to subscribe to the channel if you're enjoying this sort of content and you want to see more. FM16 is coming up thick and fast, so we need to win this Champions League as soon as possible. So I am more determined than ever, because we've got a York City series to concentrate on before the release of FM16. But remember to get your comments in. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you guys on Wednesday for the next episode, or I'll see you tomorrow for the York City episode. Thank you again, and I'll see you guys soon. Peace.